Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Daughter of Increase. My name is Denise. For those of you who are new to the channel or who just happen to stumble across this video, and I'm the founder and CEO of Daughter of Increase Ministries, that is DOI Ministries. And here on this channel, I help you guys to increase in your faith and relationship with God in Christ through Bible studies, book reviews, discussions, and more. And I do that by posting twice a week, every Wednesday and Saturday, and occasionally on Tuesday. So if you have not done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to click the bell to stay notified when I post a new video, to like this video, and to share this video on your social media platforms with a family member and or with a friend. And as the title says, above or below, wherever you're watching this, this is my testimony on college. Now, let me just say, I apologize for not having videos up last week. My son unexpectedly got sick again. If you follow me on Instagram, I pretty much keep you guys kind of up to date. But he unexpectedly got sick. And so I took him to the hospital on Monday. His father and I took him to the hospital. Thankfully, it was just a stomach bug, nothing crazy. But he was sick for about 2 days. He got better during day 2. But I'm going to say 2 days. And then he was fine. And then it was just a lot going on. A lot of things occurred. And so, yeah, just, I'm trying to balance my emotions with not running on E. Because you guys know I love posting here on the channel. I love posting on Instagram and stuff. I've been a little laxy-daisy, honestly. And I'm definitely behind on a lot of videos. I'm behind on. However, I just have to remember to stay focused, and so that is what I am working on because we got to stay focused. I also kind of sort of got a job in a sense, kind of sort of. It's literally what I'm doing already, so yeah, gotta put that into the planning. And then school starting soon, so yeah. So quick update with school, since I'll do the update for college at the end because it's a college video, but this is my testimony. And so if you would have seen my video about me announcing I'm going back to school, yes, I am going to school. However, right now I'm a part of the university, but I am auditing the school. And so what that means is that they allow you to take up to a certain amount of credits. With this college I can take up to 18 credits, 16 credits, something like that. I can take 6 classes, so that's 18 credits. You can take up to 18 credits as a undergrad, and as a grad you can audit, I think, 12. It's about 4 classes, if I'm doing that math right. But yeah, I can audit the school. And so pretty much I'm a university, I'm a student at the school. However, I have to pay out of pocket. I don't get financial aid until I'm a full-term actual student. And so I am doing that for this year, and I'm so excited. I start August 22nd. That is the day of my first class. My first class will be Old Testament survey, and then also New Testament survey, and I'll talk more about that towards the end. But I mentioned how I had went to 3 different colleges, and many people, I always say it's not that I flunked out of school, because I never flunked out of a college. But I do want to share my testimony because I know there's a lot of kids, graduating high school. And I do have younger viewers who watch but don't really comment, but they'll message me on the side. And so I just wanted to, give my thoughts and things like that, as well as my experiences with my colleges, and where I was mentally at the time. So I guess we could start with high school. My school year period was fun because I went to the same school from 5th to 12th grade. I went to charter school, Bronx Preparatory Charter School. It is no longer technically around, though we still have our building, because my school got liquidated. Would that be the word? Liquidated into another school. Democracy Prep, I think is what it's called. But I went when it was just Bronx Preparatory Charter School. And we had the bomb teachers. We had the bomb principal. I love my school growing up. They were definitely heavy on college prep, but they also were heavy on electives. So you doing the arts, such as piano. 5th grade, we all had to take piano. That was the only elective. And then they had dancing, they had orchestras. My school was very heavy on both the academic side as well as the art side, which I really appreciated. And that's where I really grew my love for the art of dance, is because I was able to meet with, you know, professional dancers through my school, so on the cheerleading team, step team, all that. And so I loved my school. My experience I've had in high school wasn't that bad. Obviously getting picked on, bullied, that's, you know, typical things, but nothing like major. What I liked about my school is that because we all grew up together from 5th to 12th grade, there were like cliques, but there weren't cliques, and it's hard to explain because you had like, you know, you had the gamers, you had the people that enjoyed partying, you had the, you know, the popular girls, the popular boys, but at the end of the day, everybody still was like cool with each other, which I liked. And so my experience with school was really, really great. But yeah, I had always dreamt of, you know, turning 18, going to college, going away from home. That was like my biggest dream ever since being in my school, because we always did college tours. We went on like 5 or 6 college tours a year, and it was like sometimes they would do summer programs. Like we did a summer program at Colgate University, right? I think that's what it's called. And we stayed on campus. We took a look, like we watched the classes and stuff. Like my school was definitely heavy on taking those college trips and going to the college campuses and exploring and staying on campus and things like that. And so from there, I grew a love and a passion for wanting to go away for school. And so, yeah, senior year, you know, I applied to many schools, but I got into St. John's University. And I didn't want to go there at first because it is located in Queens, New York. Literally, it's one of the boroughs. It's not that far. It's like a 2-hour ride from the Bronx, depending on where you live in the Bronx. And I was living in the Bronx, and my desire was to go away. Like, I didn't want to be anywhere that all of my other high school friends were going to be. So high school associates, I didn't want to be there with them at all. Like, I wanted to go somewhere away where I could sort of reinvent myself, if that makes sense. Where it was just me. I didn't know anybody. Like, I was one of them kids. Like, I wanted to go away, but I didn't know nobody. But I went to St. John's University, and their tuition was expensive still. Tuition was like $48,000, $57,000, somewhere around that. Put in-state, okay? In-state students. But during my senior year of high school, my parents separated, and so it took a toll on me mentally and emotionally. A lot of things took a toll on me, and so my freshman year of college, I stayed on campus. I was able to get the full experience. They had an early program, so I had went a little early. I was always one of those kids, like if the school offered an early program for new students or freshmen, I was there. That was me. And so I had really enjoyed my freshman year of college. First semester I stayed on campus, but I didn't do the best. I almost flunked out. I did not flunk out. I was almost below a 2.0, if I'm not mistaken. And they let me know. College is no joke. They let me know, like, you're in danger of flunking out. And I was like, oh, let me get it together. However, during my second semester, I could no longer stay on campus because it was just too much for my mom to do by herself. And, you know, like I said, my parents weren't together anymore. And so it was a lot for mom with 4 kids. Like, it was a lot for her to pay for my schooling and then have to take care of my siblings. So it was just like, okay, let me go stay at home. Because it was still in New York City. It wasn't like that far. It was like a 2-hour train ride, which was OD. But even that kind of got depressing in a sense. So that was already in a depressed state of mind. And so honestly, I barely went to classes. Like, I would get dressed, but I'm like, I'm dreading this 2-hour train ride. Then I gotta get on the bus or the shuttle, and then stay on campus until God knows when, because I have, like, my classes were sporadically all over the place, and you know, it wasn't fun. And so there were a lot of days where I skipped. And let me just say, my freshman year, I did partied a lot. Like, I was at every lounge, every club, every house party. Like, that was me. I was definitely the partier my first 2 years of college, just because that's how I kind of was coping, right? It was a coping mechanism for me. And I had met some great people at St. John's University. It was a very fun time. I met some awesome people. I joined the dance team there, and it was fun, but I wasn't academically focused because I just was all over the place with my emotions and what's going on with my parents, and then, you know, trying to find me at 18 but not really knowing me because everything around me was pretty much falling apart. And already having been depressed, it just added on to the depression. If you guys don't know my story, I was depressed for over 10 years. You know, I'm delivered from that, thank God. We bless the Lord for that. but yeah, depression was definitely one of the things that kind of like stumped me my freshman year of college. And so I think I left school with about a 2.1 or something like that GPA because I could no longer afford to go there anymore. And so I had transferred my sophomore year into Paterson University, which is out in here in New Jersey. It's in Wayne, New Jersey specifically. I went there because my cousin was going there at the time. And I said, you know what? Let me try another school because I need somewhere cheaper. It definitely was cheaper than New York. And I was coming as an out-of-state student, so I obviously was staying on campus. And things got a little bit better. I will say my freshman year, I majored in pre-law and accounting. I hated pre-law. Like, I didn't realize how much I hated pre-law until I took it. I enjoyed all of my philosophy classes, like philosophy, reading Socrates and all that. I adored those classes for some reason. Like, and I think that's why I'm really into theology now. We're gonna talk about that later. But yeah, I enjoyed all of my classes except my pre-law classes. They bothered me. So when I transferred, I dropped pre-law and only stuck to accounting. And so I did accounting at Paterson University. I went as a sophomore because I had credits transferred over. But again, I still wasn't focused. It still was a lot going on. Obviously, relationship with my dad wasn't that great. And I found myself having to be almost like a pseudo parent. And it was kind of like stressing me out because obviously my mom was dealing with her emotions, but then I'm also dealing with my emotions, but then I gotta come home every now and then, and it was aggravating. It was aggravating, you guys, aggravating. And so again, I partied most of my sophomore year. I did not flunk out though. Let's just say that we never flunked out of school because clearly if you flunk, you can't really transfer. It's a problem. So me transferring wasn't never an issue with my grades. I only transferred because financially the schools were too much money, and I got financial aid, still was too much, and so I stayed there I think a semester, and then was it a semester or 2 semesters? I can't remember if I stayed a semester or a year. I think I probably only stayed a semester because I could not afford to continue going there, because if I left the campus I wouldn't be able to come back because I lived in New York at the time, and so I had to leave. And that you know, having to transfer colleges was tiring. It was emotionally draining. It was a lot. So obviously being depressed, you just add it on top of that, right? So we got all the pressure just piling up. And so I said, let me try one more time. I wanted to transfer into, I think, FIT in New York City because I always enjoyed fashion. I wasn't a fashionable person because I was very, very skinny. I was skinty. I was like a pencil, right? We thank God for the weight gain, but I was really, really small, and so I hated shopping. I hate shopping now because it's just like I don't know what size I am, which is a good thing. Like, you'll always find your size, but back then I was a 00, you guys, and 00s were not easy to find in malls, and so going shopping wasn't fun for me. It really wasn't fun, and then I'm petite. You know, I'm a late bloomer and all that, so it wasn't fun, and so I always had a passion for fashion, but I just didn't indulge in it because of my frame and, you know, my body shape and stuff like that. But I had applied, got denied, of course, because whatever the case may be. So I found out about another school that had fashion. I can't remember the name of the school. Johnson & Wales. There we go. Johnson & Wales University. They have a North Carolina campus, and then they had a Rhode Island. I heard the North Carolina campus was a little bit more strict with what you wore as a fashion major, so I didn't go there. But I had another cousin that went to the school, and so I was like, you know what, let me apply to the one in Rhode Island. Never been to Rhode Island, didn't know what it was about, just I knew it wasn't that far, so I applied, got in, and y'all, when I say I excelled, I left that college with a 3.57 GPA. So that means that I made it to the dean's list, and I took fashion merchandising, retail marketing, and I loved all of my classes. Well, before I get there, when I was at Paterson, the second college, I did accounting. I failed every economics test that there was. Macroeconomics, microeconomics, open test, open notebook test, I failed. I hated it. Like, I know hate is a strong, I hate economics so much. It just wasn't working in my head. Mind you, I took pre-calc, I took AP Calc, I took trig, like I took those things in school. I love math, I love reading, I love writing, and so I didn't think it was gonna be too complicated. But I didn't understand nothing my professor was talking about. I was like, this is not it. This is not the major for me. So that's why I wanted to go to FIT and try fashion, but then got into Johnson & Wales. And also, one thing I do remember is that I think it was our midterms. I definitely missed my midterm for economics, so I knew. I overslept and missed that midterm. It was over. We're not doing this. We're not doing it anymore. Couldn't do it. And so, yeah. I got into Johnson & Wales University as a fashion major, which was... It was epic, y'all. I had a bomb time. I was there for a semester and a half because I had to leave in February of 2020. 2011? 2012 was when I left. I left 2012. And so from 2009 to 2010, I was at St. John's University. 2010 to about 2011, I was at William Paterson, and then 2011, 2012, I went to Johnson & Wales. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but again, financial aid and all that was major issues for me. But yeah, I went to Johnson & Wales in Providence, Rhode Island. Let me just say, Providence, Rhode Island is such a cute little like city. They have museums and stuff. I will say I never fully indulged in the full campus life. Like I never took advantage of campus life. I never went to like school games. I never went exploring in the cities and stuff like that. Like I never did much of that, which I kind of regret. Honestly, if I could go back, I probably would redo everything that I did going to the 3 colleges, because I had a wide variety of experiences and a wide variety of meeting people. Like at in Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island, I met a lot more European people, and what I mean by that is like I met people from Russia, I met people from Germany, I met people from multiple cultures, and so that's why I wouldn't change my experience, because it made me who I am today. But I digress. Yeah, so I became a fashion major, and it was the best experience of my life, y'all. The best. I love the papers, I love the assignments, I love the research. We had gotten, because I was a fashion major, we had gotten exclusive like content and stuff from like major fashion houses and major fashion websites and stuff like that. And the program itself was fun, because your first year you were doing like the basic stuff, and then your second year you could go into like cosmetics, which is what I wanted to really get into. Was my second year doing the cosmetic route, because I really wanted to learn like how to make perfumes and makeup. It's like that was where I really wanted to be. But of course, couldn't stay, couldn't afford it, and so I left February 2012, and that was actually, I believe, the year my great-grandmother passed away. So it was definitely a hard one for me, because I think she died right before I had to leave school. She passed away right before I had to leave school, and I was in a relationship with a young guy at the time, and he was a believer. He was a great guy, believer in everything, and we ended up breaking up. He told me years later why we broke up, which I definitely appreciated that for sure. But it was a lot, right? Just ended a relationship. My grandmother's gone, and I had just saw my grandmother that winter. Me and my brother felt like we needed to go see her, because we wasn't sure how long she would have. We went to go see her over the winter, and then lo and behold, January, she passed away. 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it was a lot, again, mentally and emotionally. And so though I went to 3 different colleges, I think for me, the biggest thing that I wish I would have known was to seek the Lord in my decision making, because I wasn't trying to seek God. I wasn't trying to seek my mama. I was like, I want to leave. And so I went to Queens because it was like far, but not too far away. I was still in the city. Then I went to Jersey because it was like, all right, peace out. Then I went to Rhode Island because I was like, deuces. But if I would have sought God and really figured out what I wanted to do and not what society said was good, because I wanted to do accounting and pre-law because it looked good to society. Society made it seem good. I grew up watching law shows and stuff like that. And so it seemed fun at the time, but taking the classes, I was like, yeah, no, this is going in one more ear out the other, not for me. But taking my fashion class, it was so fun. Like, I enjoyed myself. I was able to really know what I liked, what I didn't like. I was able to learn more about me, and it gave me back that passion for writing the way that I did. I actually still have some of my assignments saved on like Google Drives and stuff like that, and in Dropbox, because I don't know why, but I still have some of my papers. And reading through my papers, you could see the passion that I had. But again, like I said, couldn't afford it. College wasn't expensive, but it was expensive, especially if you were getting loans and wasn't paying those loans back to the universities. And that is why I am in the situation I'm currently in, where it's hard for me to get my transcript, because all three of my colleges gave me loans. And they gave me private loans from their own universities, and so I have to pay those loans back in order to get that hold off my account so that I can get those transcripts. And when you're going to college, preparing for college, you don't really think about it because they don't talk about it. Like, they never really talked about finances. They never talked about financial aid a lot in my school. Like, we had courses and classes on it and workshops, but we never got fully in depth with the learning of it. And so I wish I would have known more about financial aid. I wish I would have known more about, loans. And the crazy thing is, I worked all my life. I had started working at the age of 14, but I was never taught to save my money growing up, right? If I made money, I was spending it because I wanted it. It was my money, so I spent it. And, I wish I would have learned or known to save. By the time they tried to teach me to save, it was already too late, because I had the mentality of, it's my money, I'm gonna spend it. And so, listen, if I was saving up from the age of 14 until now, we wouldn't have this problem. But you learn, you grow. And then my biggest advice is, if you are a believer out there, young kids, teenagers, turning 18, 19, about to graduate, even if you're in your freshman year of high school when you're watching my video, I definitely would recommend that you, if you're a believer, seek the Lord and where to go and in what you want to study, because it'll be so much easier. I think it would have been so much easier. I think being at my first college, freshman year, St. John's University, really showed me that I enjoyed philosophy. And then now, as a minister and as a Bible nerd, as a Bible scholar, I don't know, I like to say I'm a self-proclaimed Bible scholar. That's just me. I like to study the word like that. But it really translates from now philosophy to theology. And I know that they actually offer some theology philosophy classes at Moody, which I am debating on taking. But yeah, so now we're on to the fourth college. And it is Moody Bible Institute. For those of you who don't know, who have not seen the video, I am going to be going to Moody Bible Institute. It is located in Chicago. They also have, I think, 2 other campuses, Spokane and something else. But I'm going specifically for, I wasn't into biblical studies, but I'm leaning more towards theology. Eventually I do want to get my master's in divinity, PhD, and all that. But yeah, I think I want to do theology. I don't know, something about the study of God and really understanding. I know with biblical studies, you do a wide range of studying. You hit some theology points, you hit some Christology or Christology points, and then some on pneumatology. I think that's what it's called, which is the study of the Holy Spirit. I'll put it on the screen because it starts with a P, but you don't pronounce the P, so I think it's pneumatology. Don't quote me because I probably said it wrong. But yeah, I think theology is where I want to go. I'm leaning towards theology, and so I am enrolled into the university. I do have to pay out of pocket, and I talked about that in a previous video about that. But the classes itself they went up, I think, about $12 or so. So it was $380 something per credit. Now it's like $390 per credit. $390. So for one class, it is a total of $1,140. And then you have to pay the additional $57 fee per class because it is online. So there's like an online fee, $57. So total, I'm paying about $2,280 or something, somewhere along those lines. Less than $2,500 though. It's about $2,300 if I'm not mistaken. However, they do offer payment plans, which are not that bad. I do still need to set up my payment plan. The first deposit will be about $300. It's $293, something like that. So about $300, and then from there, I think it's like $500 a month. And they break it up into the 4 months. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. And I know that this is God ordained with me going back to school, because I've always had a desire to go back to school. I've always wanted to go back to school, but there was always an issue with me getting my transcript. And I had been speaking to the admissions counselors from Moody for quite some time. And when they had told me about the non-degree program, I was like, you know what? I don't need my transcript. Let me apply. The application process was so smooth, so simple. And yeah, now I'm in. I'm a student, but I'm not a student. I have a student ID and everything like that. I can go to the campus if I wanted to, which I do plan to do. To try that probably in the spring when I take my one class. I'll take a trip out there for like a week, and I'll be able to explore the campus while I'm there, because the campus is in the city downtown of Chicago. And so yeah, I really am excited about what God is doing, because he's giving me a chance to get that stepping stone to get back into school full time. And it's not even like I'm part-time, because I'm not part-time. I don't even know what to call it. But yeah, I get to take up to 6 classes, and I have 5 of the classes picked out that I want to take. So yeah, I'm really excited. I was also able to pay off Johnson & Wales. Yeah, Johnson & Wales University. So that transcript is fine, but now I have to get the other 2 transcripts. So I have to work on that. And so I'm going to sort of elongate my time at Moody by taking 2 classes this semester, and then moving forward with just 1 class per semester. So that's 2 a year pretty much that I'll be taking. So this year I'm taking the 2 classes for the fall, and then next year I'll do 1 class in the spring, 1 class in the fall. And so I can really stretch out my 6 classes until I get the means to finish up paying with the other colleges and getting my transcripts, so that I can fully transfer in and do financial aid and all that great stuff. But I feel like if I would have prayed more, if I would have focused on God more, because I knew who God was growing up, that wasn't a problem. I was always in church all my life. I wasn't a stranger to God, but I didn't have a relationship with him. I didn't really understand prayer. And so I feel like I wish I would have prayed about where to go and what to study, rather than me just going off the, what I wanted to do and how I felt, because none of that worked out the way that I wanted to, right? I went to 3 different colleges, and I always have to tell people I never flunked out, because when you say you went to X amount of colleges, people think you failed, or you flunked out, or you did something crazy, and I never did. It was just the circumstances financially, and the reality of my life was I couldn't afford it, right? And so now I have an opportunity where I can go to a college that I'm extremely excited. You guys don't understand. Like, I'm always on the student center. I'm always looking on Canvas, waiting for my professors to like post something. I have all my books. I have my little stations and stuff set up. Like, I am overly excited, you guys. And I really give all glory and honor to God for this opportunity to be able to get back into school like I've desired, right? Going back to school and working were like 2 of the biggest desires that I've always had. And I remember my bishop ministering to me a while ago. I don't even remember what day, but he ministered to me about going back to college. And I was just like, what? I ain't go back to college. Because I had honestly given up on it. I had given up on going back to school because it was hard to try to get my transcripts, and dealing with the universities, it was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I always still had that desire. But I remember he ministered to me that day, because I went on the line and I was asking God about something else. I wanted an answer to something specific. And you know how you do when you they calling you up for everybody for prayer, and you go up there and you got that one thing in mind that you want, but then the Lord be like, we're not going to answer that. We're going to give you XYZ, right? It was one of those things. And my bishop had mentioned college, and I was like, what? Like, because it was still a desire, but I had given up on it. And so to remember that now and really see, like, full circle, like, I'm back in school. Maybe not how I pictured it, right? But I know that there's a purpose in me being able to still be in college, but not full time, especially with everything going on. Like, nobody expected this year alone to be the way it's been. Like, the past 2 years have been, 2-3 years have been crazy for me. Like, and I felt like I've been hit with a punching bag, right? Punching bag, a brick, or whatever, constantly, like, consistently and constantly. But I honor and I give God all the glory for the opportunity to go to a college that I'm gonna enjoy. I'm nervous, right? Because it's like, I don't know much about theology as a whole. I don't. But I know that I love the Word of God. I know that this is definitely something He's leading me to, and not something that I just want to do. Because of the other colleges, those are things that I just wanted to do. I didn't feel no lead, and it was just like, all right, let's go to school. That's what I had to do. But this is definitely something that I want my degree in this. Like, I want my degree in theology. Then I want to go get my master's in divinity. I want to get my PhD, right? That's stuff that I want. And I know that I have to emotionally prepare myself, because I've heard from many people that theology is a degree that if your faith is not rooted in the Lord, you will be tested and tried, because theology is literally going to wipe your personal beliefs. And so if your faith is not rooted in God, you'll be so confused. And so I'm grateful that I have the opportunity where my faith is rooted at. And I've been watching 2 channels. Lala Jenkins is one, and I believe Courtney Denise is the other one. Lala is currently in school right now, I think, for theology. I think she's in seminary school, and then the other young lady is also. I'll leave their videos linked in the card. So I've been watching their videos recently, and just trying to find other videos. And many people say the same thing, like theology will definitely mess you up if your faith is not rooted. And so I'm very, very grateful. I was actually just talking to my bishop on Sunday about, school and things like that. Oh, I need to send him the link to my college as well. But I'm excited. I'm really excited in that this is me going back to school finally. Me getting the education that I really know will help me grow. And me being able to study the Word. Like, being able to study the Word is enough for me. It's going to be stressful. And as an online student, you have the option to take the regular 8-week courses, because the way Moody is that they have 8-week sessions, but then they also have 16-week sessions. However, if you take the 16-week sessions, there's a lot more papers involved and more discussions. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I take Old Testament from August to October, and then I take New Testament from October to December, and then in January I'll be diving into, I believe, interpreting scripture will be my next class, because I want to take there's a specific class that I want to take, but you have to have prerequisites of Old Testament and New Testament, and I believe interpreting scripture or Bible study methods or something like that. So I want to also do hermeneutics. They offer Greek classes. I think they offer Hebrew. They offer book by book, like, study classes. So I could take a whole class on John for like 16 weeks. I could take a whole class on Isaiah for 16 weeks. And so these are things that I have been interested in and I'm really excited about. And so I definitely have my list of, how they break things down for each major. And I'm taking those kind of core classes. That way when I transfer in, my credits will apply. So I'll have those 18 credits applied, and it'll be less time for me to be in school. And so, yeah, I think you finish at Moody within 3 years, because they do their classes by 8 weeks instead of 16. And so, yeah, I'm so excited. I haven't had me a coffee this whole time. Never drunk it. Got me some crab salad here. This is a Barista Rules Madagascar vanilla bean latte. It is, I believe, from Korea. Yes, it's a product of Korea, and I recently discovered H Mart. Been loving me some H Mart, y'all. Listen, H Mart, I'm loving it. Okay, I'm loving H Mart so much, and so I've been picking up these coffees. They don't have a lot of sugar, which kind of sucks for me, because I like diabetic coffee, as people call it. I'm one of those people, like, it gotta be sugary, sweet, sugary coffee. But these are like, you get them, you pop them. I can take the plastic off if need be and add sugar to it, but we're not gonna do that. This is keeping me accountable to not adding excess sugar, which is interesting, but I think it could do with some creamer. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I will have college videos obviously on the channel, because I'm going to with theology, and so I am going to share my classes with you all. Not the like all the works and stuff that I get clearly, but I don't like. I went on YouTube searching for things and I can't find anything. Luckily, I did come across Courtney's channel and Lala's channel, and so I think it's Lala. Don't quote me on. Let me find these channels, y'all, cause I be done said the wrong thing. Lala Jenkins, I believe, is her channel name, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, cause I don't want to be saying the wrong thing. Okay. Seminary. Let's see. Yeah, so it was Courtney Denise. That I've been watching her videos. So I think her and her spouse are both in seminary school. And then the other one is Lala Jenkins, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Lala Jenkins. She's also in seminary. And so watching their channels have been really, really interesting for me. I want to see more videos like that from other people, but it's like barely any out there. So that's why I want to vlog like a day in the life as a theology student type of thing, and sharing with you guys like the process of like my assignments, essays and papers and quizzes and stuff like that. You know, sharing with you all the books and stuff that I have. I will be doing reviews on the books, first impressions type of thing. I did actually recently start reading one of my books. Let me grab it. So this is one of the books that I have to read, which is The Drama of Scripture, 2nd edition. And I actually got this book from Ms. Dawn. My sissy Dawn had bought this one for me. And so yeah, it's Finding Our Place in the Biblical Story by Craig G. Bartholomew and Michael W. Goheen. And let me just say, when I first read this, I ain't understanding not one thing that this book was saying. Mind you, the first chapter talks about Genesis chapters 1, 2, and 3. And as many times as I done studied and read Genesis chapter 1, 2, and 3, this book made me feel slow. I didn't understand nothing. And I think that's what excited me the most, is because I think I wanted to make sure that I would get something, right? Like learn something outside of what I know. And so I had been, when I first read it, I didn't get nothing. And so this time around, I decided to take notes while I'm reading. And that is what I've been doing. So I'm trying to wait for it to open. But I read on this side, and then I've been taking notes over here. And I might go paperless. I'm not sure that was about to fall out my hand, but I might go paperless. So these are just my notes from the preface, and things like that, to help me actually understand what I'm reading, because I don't understand nothing. It makes no sense. And so between my computer, my laptop, my iPad, as well as my tablet, I'm definitely going to be doing a hybrid blend of digital notes and physical notes, just because I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I want to do. And so I have been just trying out digital note taking right now, and there are a lot of different things that I have. I have some faith and Bible study journals that I want to share with you guys that are like digital, from a specific company that I've actually bought from before. There are some digital notebooks that I want to get my hands on, that I recently saw. And so I definitely want to do a lot of things surrounded around digital content as well as college content, and then definitely still doing Bible study videos because I miss those. And I'm just excited for what I'm going to learn and how I'm going to be able to implement that within the ministry, and things like that. Like, I'm really, really excited. It is taking a toll on me mentally and emotionally. I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot, because I feel like everything is like unbalanced, not in a like unhealthy way, but in a I need to figure out how to rebalance myself type of way, because it's so much, right? And I feel like every time I get myself leveled, something happens which kind of knocks me over, or tilts me over. And so yeah, that is my college testimony. Hopefully it was helpful. I felt like I don't know, did it make sense, did it not make sense? Let me know your thoughts down below, right? Overall, I didn't flunk out of any school. Like, I almost did, but I didn't. I went to 3 different colleges. I'm now on my 4th. And I don't think I would change any of my experiences, because again, my experiences made me who I am. They really made me who I am. And I think it was when I was at Johnson & Wales University previous college for fashion merchandise and retail marketing that the Lord definitely started opening my eyes to the lifestyle that I was living, even though I still was not really caring. And that sounds bad, but this is me being transparent and authentic and real as much as I can. Growing up, I did smoke, I did drink, I did have sex outside of marriage, obviously. And so it wasn't until I was at Paterson's, Johnson & Wales previous college for fashion merchandise and retail marketing that I was hanging out with my friends. And this is something that vividly I remember. Was outside one day by our dorm, and we were just smoking. But I had kind of like lost a desire to do it. It was so weird. It was like in that instant I lost a desire to smoke. I still did it because it was like I'm already out here with everybody else, right? But something in me had shifted at that point in time. And this is like right before my grandmother passed, and before I was just like, I'm over life, right? So I wouldn't change my experience. I mean, if I could, I would say, Lord Jesus, help me stay at one college, right? One college. But I also never wanted to settle for a college. I always wanted to go to a university. And the difference between a college and a university is that a college only has undergraduate students, right? So you only have, 18 to about 21, 22-year-olds, whereas a university has both undergrad and graduate students. And I really wanted that experience to have, older people around me, because I always thought that I could get mentored by them or things like that, right? But that was just me. So definitely know if you want to do the college or the university lifestyle. I just always wanted to go to a university. Hence why on my school's universities, I went to St. John's University, I went to Paterson University, and then I went to Johnson & Wales University. I liked the idea of being with graduate students. I liked the idea of having them close enough for me to ask questions, right? Wasn't able to really take advantage of it, but I still enjoyed it. But I guess that's it for this video. I don't really know what else to say. If you have any specific questions, let me know. I could definitely do a part 2. But yeah, my college testimony isn't that wild. I went to 3 colleges. I had great experiences at them. I changed my major for sure a couple of times, and I'm now able to go to a school where I'm very excited, and God is amazing. That's all I can say about that. He's definitely amazing. And the journey that I'm on, my pastor actually just said it yesterday. She's thankful for the journey that I took and the journey that I'm currently still in. Because it's a journey, y'all. It's a journey. But I'm grateful for it. But yeah, that's it. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm going to sip on this coffee and drink me some crab salad. I think I said drink me some crab salad when I meant to say eat me some crab salad, which I do have here. We had crab salad yesterday. So I'm definitely going to eat this and get some work done for the day. I need to actually make a set schedule and stick to my schedule for content, because I still need to record the third letter of the Screw Tape Letters, which I am so glad you all are enjoying the Screw Tape Letters. It is a phenomenal book. I think I also want to do a read along on Pigs in the Parlor eventually. I'm going to read it through, kind of like how I did Screw Tape Letters where I read it. I'm going to read this through, and then I'm probably next year going to do, either next year or the end of the year, whenever I finish this, we'll see. This book is dope, y'all. This book is dope. So I'm definitely going to get my hands on a study guide, and we'll do a read along probably right after doing Screw Tape Letters. So I think this, in conjunction with the Screw Tape Letters, will blow your mind. Like, right now I'm on chapter 5, which is How Demons Enter. And let me just say, let me first of all, let me just show y'all, like, I am eating it up, okay? I'm gonna read the first thing, right? It says, demons are evil personalities. They are spirit beings. They are enemies of God and man. Their objective in humans beings are to tempt, deceive, accuse, condemn, pressure, defile, resist, oppose, control, steal, afflict, kill, and destroy. Demons enter through open doors. They have to be given an opportunity. There must be an opening. I was just like, So demons don't just willy-nilly come in. And then that reminds me of the scripture which says, don't give the enemy a foothold. Like, all he needs is a foothold. Crack that door just a little bit, and you gave them access. So I literally put have you opened any doors? Like, y'all know me, I write questions, so I put have you opened any doors. I didn't finish it because by then it was time for service to start, but I'm enjoying this. I cannot wait to read the children's one. It's up there, right? I don't even see my children's one. That's okay. That's interesting. Where's my book at? I'm literally looking on my bookshelf, y'all. I cannot find the children's one up there. Or am I just not looking close enough? Yeah, oh yeah, there's Emmanuel's Guide for Children's Deliverance. Then there's a book called Demons that I want to read. Like, I am on it about my learning about demonic spirits and things like that, y'all. I'm on it, but that's not what this video is about. So I'm gonna go. If you made it to the end of this video, post up this school emoji so I know that you watched it. Again, if you have any thoughts, questions, I'll answer it. You guys know I try to be as transparent as I can without giving all my business, right? Because I feel like it's the testimony that really draws people in. It's not, I don't want to say it's not what you say, but your testimony really connects to people. And I love sharing my testimony sometimes, but I definitely wanted to share this one now because I'm back in school and it's just like full circle for me. I have other testimonies to come. I definitely still have one specifically I want to talk about, and it is on the topic of abortions and miscarriages, for sure. So I just want to put that out there. Yes, so I want to talk about that, and the reason why I want to talk about that is because it ties into my senior year of high school and depression and all that. And so I don't think I really even mentioned that topic, but yeah, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable talking about it. And so yeah, that testimony has to come. The one with the relationship with my dad is coming, but that one is still a touchy subject for me. So my thing is with these testimony videos that I do, I want to be able to talk about them comfortably, without feeling condemned, right? Because if I feel condemned, then I know that that's the enemy. And most people would say still share your testimony if you feel that way, but I want to make sure that when I share my testimony, I'm giving what I remember and not what I like. Is it what I feel? Is that what I want to say? No, but I want to make sure that it's in depth when I give my testimony videos. The college one wasn't that hard for me to share. I never shared it, but I'm sharing it now because I'm going back to school. So yeah, I've had great experiences with my schools. They were all great. All my classes were fun. Didn't fail any. I think the only class I ever failed was any economics. So macroeconomics, microeconomics. She failed all of them. I don't like economics. Like, if someone can teach me economics and make me understand it, fine. But other than that, economics was not for me. It was not for me. When you fail an open notebook test, that's when you know it's not for you. Or I could just say it was my professor's fault for not like really writing much or speaking quickly enough or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Again, post up the school emoji. Thank you guys for watching, rating, commenting, subscribing, and all that great stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.